Hey, this is Azeroth the Gaming Orc, and I want to talk about some of the basic 8.1 changes that are coming out. Just a couple of the talents that I've seen that are pretty interesting. We got some new talents for, it looks like, Restoration Shaman. I am not a Restoration Shaman Pro, so I don't want to talk about it, but I do play Enhancement Shaman. We got a new one here called Thunderance Fury. Storm Strike deals 51 additional damage and has a 13% chance to summon a totem, increasing the chance to activate Wind Fury weapon by 100%. I think this is very powerful. Increasing your Storm Strike damage, obviously your major damage dealing ability, very powerful. And then you summon a totem. You have an RNG totem passive that you also increase with, say, Forceful Winds. That's going to do a lot of damage. Enhancement Shamans are very powerful. They're probably the most well-rounded class maybe in the game. They just have so many. They can heal themselves. They can off-heal people. They have Earth Shield. They have the Ghost Wolf. They have movement. They have snares. They have Counter Strike. They have very versatile PvP talents, and they have good RNG burst or just burst damage they can do, I think. So this new talent will probably be very good. 51 damage seems a little low, but if you get a totem, again, it would have to be simmed out, and then you could check it out. But as it's being a new Azeroth trait, I think it actually will be quite good, and I wouldn't overlook it. Here we go for Warlocks. We got a new one for Destruction Warlocks. Incinerate damage is increased by 37, and when you fill up a Soul Shard, you have a 5% chance to generate an additional full Soul Shard over 2 seconds. It's called Chaos Shards. I don't know how good this is. Incinerate build, what is that? That's where you cast the big one and it snakes at the opponent. I'm sure it's okay. Maybe the Soul Shards help build up. The Warlock builds, Destruction Warlock's actually not in a very, very bad spot. In Arena, obviously, they're okay, but I've seen quite a few more than you'd think. They're not completely out, and what they do is Destruction Warlocks are playing with Go comps. They can play with a Rogue instead of a Mage, like a Fire Mage. They'll play with the Destruction Warlocks, so Rogues will get them in a stun lock, and the Warlock will go off on them. The problem is the Warlocks, if they get focused or stunned or anything like that, or counterspelled, their initial go is sort of ruined, and there's not a lot they can really do. And also they can be pillared easily, where a Mage can sort of blink around the corners and get at you. The Destruction Warlock has a much harder time connecting. However, I think in RBG's Destruction might be, just from what I'm thinking, Destruction might be a really good spec, because a part of like Shot Caller, Destruction Warlock sitting in the back, he's like, okay, switch to the healer here, healer XYZ, and he throws a huge Chaos Bolt and melts the Goblin's face. So they get 5 shards, they start just throwing Chaos Bolts left and right. The opposing team has to sort of go and get on the Warlock to heal him out. When you have bad healers, as a Warlock, then your position is going to be in the back as you're rolling backwards to throw out their pulled. All their healers have to pull forward then into your melee to really focus you down. But rarely doesn't happen that much. The big change, and why I wanted to make this video, is Inevitable Demise is getting changed, which is a meta perk for Affliction, and we all know Affliction is the king of battlegrounds. That's right, Tarks. So damaging the enemy with Corruption, now it will be changed to Agony, increases the damage of your next drain life by up from 9 to 11. This effect stacks down from 100 times down to 50 times. So they've basically nerfed Inevitable Demise. Inevitable Demise, what people were doing is they would have endless corruption, which can be easily dispelled. A lot of good dispelling going on, especially in Arena. You get up to 100 stacks, you drain life someone, and you're doing like 30k ticks on them, basically. You're really hurting them. They can't line of sight you. I think the drain life can be dispelled. You can definitely, what you do to counter it is you silence the Warlock, or you pummel him, or so on. But you can't dispel this buff on the Warlock. You can't do anything like that. So what does this change mean? So it's been buffed by, let's say, 20%. Okay, but its top end damage has been nerfed by half. So your insane 100 stack burst is going to be reduced. But I wouldn't overlook this. I think what this means is that you're going to pick up Wraith and Agony now. So you're going to get your strong tick Agony ticks. I've also tried to play with Soul, Siphon Soul, and to try to do that. But anyways, let me get back on subject here. Wraith and Agony, you're going to go into that. Then you're going to probably have 2 pieces of this, Sudden Inevitable Demise, to get your drain stacks. Then you're going to have 1 piece of Sudden Onset to put someone right at 4 stacks. So I still think this is a very good perk. Instead of waiting for 100 stacks, you can throw out drains at 50 stacks. So you can have, and you're going to have stronger drains. I think this is actually decent. And this is going to be a nerf for sure. So your top end damage doesn't one-shot people, which is fair. You know, to be honest with you, I think it's totally balanced. What I also found out with Inevitable Demise is you're getting focus a lot. It's really challenging actually to get, you know, all of your to get up to 100 stacks. It takes like 100, or you know, it takes a lot of time, actually a lot longer than you'd think, especially if people are dispelling and you're getting zerged and countered. It's not as easy as you think. But with Agony, you know, it's going to be a little different. And I think it's going to be interesting. Yes, it's a nerf. I play with Sudden Onset because it's very difficult to counter me. Most people can't dispel curses. So I think as a Warlock, Affliction Warlock, you need to utilize your curses a lot more. Curse of Weakness, Curse of Shadows, Curse of Tongues, and Agony. These are really powerful ones, especially with the new armor buff. They probably were doing some testing here, and they realized that, oh my god, Inevitable Demise with the armor buff, they're just one-shotting people. Because you can't kill the Warlock before he gets up to 100 stacks. So they just have to, they try to balance it a little bit. Okay, we're still going to give you 50 stacks, but we'll bump up the damage a little bit. Because they don't want people, the Warlock has never been about going people. But if you're a Destruction Warlock, you're a go comp. But Affliction is not a go comp, it's a rot comp. I think Affliction is still the strongest of all the Warlock classes right now. We're not seeing anything major happen with Demonology, even though Demonology is the coolest one. I think Blizzard has too many variables in Demonology, and it's too difficult to program and takes too much resources. And since it's such an underplayed spec and class, Warlocks have basically given up on it, and in turn, devs have also given up on it. And that's a shame, because if devs went back to it and really improved the pet AI and Demonology, it'd be a lot better. If you're getting sick and tired of playing Affliction, I am a little bit, but I love Affliction still. I think Destruction deserves a second look, because especially in RBGs, I think that you can do really good damage as a shot caller, and you can be like, focus on this guy, and then you get up to 5 shards, and you're throwing Chaos Bolts that are doing awesome. And I think you could build up your crit gear, and I've seen people do 40k Chaos Bolt damage. So you can totally, you know, get up to being just a killing machine as a Destruction Warlock. You're not going to have a high rot damage like you do probably with with Affliction, but you're going to have killing blow, and you're also going to help your team out. One last thing I'll say is I think Battleground Focus is extremely underrated. I tried it out on a target dummy, and it simmed better than Sudden Onset. And then for your Shaman, my Shaman 2, Battlefield Focus is my meta perk on him as well. When I play in 3s with a Demon Hunter and someone gets Battlefield Focus on him, you'll see the damage, it goes up incredibly. So I think that people are underestimating Battlefield Focus. Imagine you're an RBG, and you're like, okay, Focus is healer, and Battlefield Focus procs on him, and suddenly everybody's doing 900 more damage, like an effect on this guy. He's going to melt quick because of this one perk. Also, your single target damage goes up. What I'm trying to say is I think Battlefield Focus is being overlooked as an Azeroth trait. It's very good for PvP. It's designed as a PvP perk. It's actually sims well in PvE as well. Take a look at it. Give it a second shot. I think it's actually got a good place. It's actually underrated. I'm trying to test it out with more of my Affliction Warlock, but I have to drop Sudden Onset, and I think I love Sudden Onset still, even though it's been nerfed a while back. I still think it's quite good. Other than that, I didn't see too many other changes. Rogue's getting another little nerf. Don't see anything with Priest. Those are the big ones I'm kind of looking for. rogue and priest nerfs because they're just so overrepresented in arena. Check it out on MMO Champion. Like, subscribe, comment. See you guys in the next video.